Freddie Mercury was one of the most famous men on the planet and had millions of adoring fans.
Both as a solo artist and with his hugely successful band, Queen, the singer could pack out stadiums and soar to the top of the charts.
But the flamboyant frontman was hiding a devastating secret, one that he only revealed the day before he died.
He was just 45 when he lost his battle against AIDS in 1991. But Freddie had privately struggled with the illness for years after being diagnosed in the 1990s.
The extent of his illness was known only to those closest to him, and back in 2017 bandmate Brian May revealed it had actually cost Freddie his foot.
In an interview with the Sunday Times, May said, "The problem was actually his foot, and tragicy there was very little left of it."
Once, he showed it to us at dinner. And he said, "Oh Brian, I'm sorry I've upset you by showing you that."
And I said, "I'm not upset, Freddie, except to realize you have to put up with this terrible pain."
And for the final 2 years of his life, Freddie lived in almost total seclusion.
In his final appearance in a Queen video in the same year he died, the rock powerhouse looked visibly thin and frail.
He did finally tell his bandmates about his diagnosis, but one person he refused to tell was his best friend and fellow singer, Peter Straker.
The West End star had been best pals with the Queen frontman for more than 15 years.
But when he almost discovered Freddie's secret illness, the rock star simply cut him out of his life.
The pair had been pals since the 1970s, and their bond wasn't broken when Freddie hit the big time with Queen, and Straker landed leading roles in West End musicals, Hair, Tommy and the Rocky Horror Show.
Freddie even part-funded and produced one of Straker's albums. Straker was also included in much of the Queen fun and dressed up in drag as one of the backing singers in the famous video for The Great Pretender.
Always generous, Freddie would fly his best pal across the Atlantic to make sure he could attend his legendary parties, but then suddenly in the late zeros, he was cut out of the Queen star's inner circle.
Straker had become increasingly concerned about the well-being and health of his pal, and Freddie feared he was close to discovering the truth.
He was one of the few people owed to visit Freddie at home, but he still wasn't told what was wrong.
Straker said, "All I got from Freddie was that he had this blood thing, and I thought it could have been leukemia or something like that.
He started to get these blotches and I asked about these and he said he had some blood condition.
I knew about AIDS, but it just never entered my head." But Straker wasn't convinced, and as rumors about what was ailing Freddie increased, he confronted him outright.
He said, "We had lunch and he was quite blotchy and he had on makeup.
We went upstairs and we were sitting down watching telly on his bed, and I said to him, 'Have you got AIDS?'
And he said, 'No, I haven't got AIDS.' And I said, 'If there anything wrong with you, I'm always here for you.'"
Read more. Best selection of Showbiz long reads. We parted that evening and that was the last time I saw him.
Freddie was determined to keep it secret for as long as possible so his life could continue with some normality.
Queen guitarist Brian May said, he knew that if he did announce it, his life would become a circus and he would be prevented from going about his business, which was making music.
He wanted it to be business as usual until the end. 6 months later he died at home, having succumbed to a bout of bronchial pneumonia.